Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Pro League. Chance, we have a beautiful photo of you from Call of Duty Championships where you were staring at bioacid. But your webcam doesn't work tonight, but we are casting together. I'm very excited about this.
I'm definitely excited as well. Now, when you say staring, do you mean like staring intently with like a look of like love on my face, or just happen to be looking in his general direction?
You might be a little confused, like curious maybe. Just looking over like what's happening over there, Bio. Either way, it's fantastic. Enough. It's a good look. You can catch it on the rebroadcast. But for now, let's jump right into the game. This is Solar Hardpoint. Chance, of course, our cast-off Season 1 champion, has been filling in quite a bit here on the Pro League. And with Mr. X and Matt over at Gamescom, he's going to be a busy man this week. Chance, I'm currently watching Miracles, and he's got a bow in hand. Talk to me a little bit about this Optic Nation squad and what you saw from them at Gfinity this weekend.
Okay, well, Optic Nation throughout like the entirety of Advanced Warfare has just been plagued with bad luck, so I was expecting pretty much the same thing to carry over into Gfinity, but then they actually came out and had a really nice performance. I think they finished at third, and even just looking at the stats, Miracles played like an absolute god. Like he was on like top of the board for like slang categories, for objective categories, even his S&D KD I think was up there. So Miracles came out, had a monster tournament. Mochilla was also up there in all of like the slang categories. And then, of course, Ricky and Bose, they just simply did their jobs and showed up when they needed to. So Optic Nation, at least lately, has been performing very, very well.
The team that knocked him out of the tournament was Optic Gaming. Unfortunate finish to their tournament. They got top 3, though. They ended up beating Infused, I believe, in that consolation match there for 3rd place. And it's the highest placing that we've ever seen out of Mochilla. His previous was 4th, which he had 3 times. On the other side, though, we're going to see a fill-in for a multi-time champion. TP is over at Gamescom, so it's Fears filling in, and currently he's sitting at 5-5. What do you know about this guy?
It's an interesting fill-in for TP specifically because I don't think Fears necessarily fits that role. Every single time I see Fears, he's rocking the bow, and of course TP like generally going to be that ASM1 OBJ type of player. But watched him a little bit at UMG Dallas. Very talented S&D player, but of course he was on a team with Fizzerp, so maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe just good teamwork there, but should be a decent fill-in. I'm going to be looking out for him mainly though in Search and Destroy.
Currently looking through the stats, the star player in this game has been Jerd, 12-7. The man lighting it up early on with the SMG. Let's go over to him. His teammate just lost a fight over on the B Street. Moose going to try and pinch in from A, is going to get shut down. So TCM locked out of the garage for the first 10 seconds, but now they come storming through. It was Fears and Eggs trying to break in, but a strong hold from Moch and Miracles. This one is going to be highly contested, and all of a sudden you see Moose charge in, and it's all TCM in the kill feed.
Yeah, I've seen like random gameplays of Moose where he just goes off for no reason. There was a hard point when they were playing Optic Gaming, and he went on a 10 streak by himself. His team literally killed nothing for him, and he was doing all of the work in the hard point. But then generally, Moose doesn't put up the greatest of numbers, so it's kind of sporadic with him. But either way, though, TCM getting off to a very nice start. As you said, Jerd just having a phenomenal get off from the beginning. Now 16-10, but of course that rotation is coming in, and Optic Nation trying to hold down this next hill and work themselves back into the game.
71 points to just 40 after our first 3 minutes, and now you see Moose continuing to impress. He and Jerd all over your kill feed. Fantastic start from those two. Aches is also +3, and Fears is even. So the slang battle definitely going in favor of TCM early on, but all of a sudden it's 3 straight kills in the feed for Optic Nation until Moose comes charging in once again. Big fight, one at the top by Bose, but there's going to be 3 more challengers, and this is going right back over to TCM's control.
Yeah, we talked about Optic Nation, how good they looked on land, but obviously the online performance is going to be a little bit of a different story. And they're having all right seeding in the league right now. I believe they're 6, but they really have to come together and kind of bring that same mentality they had on lands in those like high championship matches over to this online performance, because the league very, very important now. And you can even see like Moch right now, 8-16. You can't have your main Slayer going double negative. Things just aren't going to go well. But either way, only down by about 14 points. So Optic Nation, despite getting outslayed, has done a pretty good job of just keeping themselves in this one.
And now going over to Miracles. The man had a fantastic weekend, as you touched on. Moch, 9-17, can't get anything going. And I kind of saw this just twice throughout the entire Gfinity event. And the one time was against Optic Gaming. They simply took him out of the game. How has TCM been able to do this so far? Let's watch Moch for a little bit, see what troubles he's running into.
I'm going to have to imagine that like he's just getting outgunned from range. Maybe Fears, having that battle as a pickup has been able to help them on those long-range engagements. Potentially that's going to be a factor. But, of course, Jerd still having a very nice performance. He hasn't slowed down really at all. He's going to make that 25 and 16. So just as I was saying, it started to get close. TCM starting to blow it open a little bit more. Now going to extend that to about a 40-point lead. However, Optic Nation is going to be able to break through on the hill. But, of course, you can see the fights coming in. It looks like Fear is going to be able to grab that scrap time.
Miracle's trying to contest. He's cut down right away. Embo's off the spawn over at Water Tank's going to try and make his move. Weird shots from Bo's, able to land enough bolts to pick up 1 kill. Let's see if he can keep it rolling and break into this hill. His teammate Miracles is going to be sitting inside the middle of the map. He's got a bow in hand, though, and has no idea where the attack's coming from. Good job, though, picking up some scrap time is Optic Nation. Can they keep it rolling here, though, or will TCM break through? I'm going back over to Moose. It is ASM1. Moose on a 2-kill spree after that melee.
Yeah, and now you can see him trying to break in this hill, but Ricky is going to be there to cut him down. So again, Optic Nation doing a very good job just to keep that hill pressure and stay in the hill. We talked about it a little bit just before we came on tonight, how about Optic Nation and Isolation Empire, how well they do when they're getting outslayed in terms of being able to win matches. And so far, Optic Nation getting outslayed by quite a bit, but still, again, staying in this. Of course, Moch also starting to heat up a little bit. At one point, he was double negative. Now he's at least starting to catch back up. So definitely going to be a factor to look out for. But again, the members on TCM still looking very good. Fears is on a 4 streak. Moose has been very consistent this whole time. And then, of course, you have Jared on your team. Things are going to go well.
Sorry about the controller issue there, my friends. Optic Nation all over the feed. It's a 35-point lead, though. 3 minutes, 45 seconds still to go. Miracles continues to slay. Moch has really come back into his normal form, though. He was 9 and 17. Now he's back on top at 20 and 22 on a 3 streak right here. 6 captures to his name as well. So Moch in the last 3 minutes has totally turned his game around, and that's been the difference in the scoreboard. They might be able to tie things up on this hill.
Yeah, that's a ridiculously insane turnaround. Of course, Moch is going to get shot in the back, but Ricky and Mir are both still going to be in the hill, and they are winning their gunfights. Even Bose is coming out of the woodworks as well. So it's going to be Pat kind of in that front line, and a very untimely team kill. Moch actually takes out Ricky right there, which is going to hurt. Ricky was having all of that hill presence, but of course, still going to look like it's going to go into Optic Nation's favor. So they might be able to work themselves back into this one. They're going to be down by about 2 points going to this next hill. Of course, TCM, though, in that early control.
And I'm looking for the TCM panic. Who's struggling right now? You had Fears go on a fantastic run of his own. He's now +7. You got Jerd still +3. Eggs has been missing in this game. Let's go over to Pat Price, see what's going wrong. Looks like he switched back over from the ASM1 to the assault rifle. He was running that quite a bit throughout the week into having some success. And it really just looks like his shot's not quite warmed up there. There was nothing wrong connection-wise, just wasn't able to finish his first kill. Let's go back to him now. Again, challenging 3 players. Nice setup from Nation inside the garage.
Yeah, even Bose right now was able to pick up 2, of course, getting that second kill on Pat, and he's going to turn around and pick up Jerd as well. Bose heating up quite a bit here. Man. He's going to be on a 7 streak, and then you have Moch behind him, who was just on a 4 streak. Of course, he's going to get cut down, but Bose still continuing it. Finally, he's going to get shut down inside the hills. Pat picks up 2. Of course, he did have a team kill as well, so TCM going to be able to clear that hill out, but still only getting the scrap time here, and this is the biggest lead we've seen from Optic Nation this entire time, and they've won the rotation.
Looking at your mini map, you can see the fight. They got B Street watched, but A Street's wide open and the grenades come through. That is going to be Jerd breaking the hard point on this A Street side. Now it's Fear's set up for a moment. Nice work here from TCM to bring it back. Down to our last 94 seconds. These are your last 2 hills, and this one really the most important. The second one can be contested so easily. Great hold so far from TCM. They might re-tie it up one more time. Let's see if they can hold over to Pat Price.
Yeah, Ake struggled, but now he's going to be on a 4 streak, and he's stepping up exactly when he needed to. Of course, my screen just froze. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, this game just lagged out right there.
That sucks.
Well then, lost connection to the host. I believe that was Mbos' host. So we'll figure out exactly what is going on. It was just about a 10-point game going back and forth towards the final 3 minutes. Impressive play, most recently from Mbos. That 8 streak inside the garage really gave Optic Nation their biggest lead of the evening.
Yeah, that really sucks. That was such a good game. There were so many storylines going on. TCM had the early lead, and they were able to continue the whole time. Jerd was going off. Moach started out slow. He had like a massive comeback. Embos was going on a 7 or 8 streak, as you said. And then even Patrick Price, who started out so slow when he needed to towards the end, when TCM had to catch up, was on a 4 streak on the hill where they potentially could have tied it up. So a lot of good things going down, except for the connection.
We figured this was going to be a great matchup. It's a rematch from the LAN we just saw this past weekend. Last time it was Optic Nation coming out. TCM, though, a different roster. Fears filling in for TP, and so far in game number 1, he's putting up positive numbers. We'll find out what exactly is going to happen in that game number 1 on the other side of the commercial break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We have 4 matches on stream, 4 of the 6. You can catch them all right here on MLG.tv.